Hello friends, welcome to an interesting lecture over comparison of different S3 storage classes. So in our previous three lectures, we had been discussing a lot about different types of S3 storage classes, which are S3 standard, S3 intelligent tiering, S3 standard IA, S3 one zone IA, S3 glacier, and S3 glacier deep archive. Today we are going to, have a quick comparison between these six on different parameters that we have listed below. So on my screen, I have the six category of all those different classes. You can see over here horizontally and vertically. We will be talking of comparing these six storage tiers on different parameters. So let's get started quickly. The first parameter is design for durability. So let's understand the maximum durability that these are built for, these platforms. So S3 standard is built for 99.119%. S3 intelligent tiering 11.9. So you can see all those S3 platforms or all those S3 storage tiers are built with the durability of 99.11 times nines. So remember that the 11 nines are after 0.9 and not including before point. So that's it. Uh, Design for availability. So the availability is different for different storage tiers. For standard, it's 99.99. For intelligent tiering, it's 99.9. Same for S3 standard 1A, and for S3 one zone IA, we have 99.5%. Note that because you are also you might be asked for this in the examination. S3 Glacier, it's 99.99%, and the same 99.99 for S3 Glacier Deep Archive. So this is how they are designed for durability and availability. Now let's understand what does Amazon offers, what availability it offers on SLA. That's a service level agreement. So on papers, Amazon guarantees you. So last digit of whatever availability was in the design pattern, last digit is removed. So the availability as per SLA is 99.9%. You can see here it's 99%. The last digit is removed in the, whatever it's designed for. So it's 99% for S3 standard IA. It's 99% for one zone, 99.9% for S3 Glacier, 99.9% for S3 Deep Archive. And availability zones. So I said you that when we discussed S3 standard, that when you copy a single object in S3, it's defaultly copied into three availability zones and sometimes even more. So you can see S3 standard, it has got three or more than three copies. The same is for intelligent tiering and standard IA. But S3 one zone IA, as the name says, it's one zone. And that's why you are charged less as compared to all these four S3 storage tiers. So this is the lowest cost when you compare these four storage tiers of S3 standard, intelligent tiering, standard IA, and one zone IA. Just because it is hosted in one zone. So if you lose this copy, then you won't be, the site might not be available. So make sure what trade-offs you have when you are going for one zone IA. Again, you have greater than three availability zones for Glacier and for Glacier Deep Archive. Minimum capacity charge per object. So this usually parameters comes into picture where you are charged based on retrieval of the data. So since we are being charged on the usage for SC standard and intelligent tiering, there are no retrieval charges. So it's not, this parameter is not applicable for these two. But if you remember, we noted that you might be charged on retrieval for infrequent access in S3 standard one zone IA. And the same stands for Glacier and Deep Archival, because here these two are last two are the archival modes. So the minimum capacity that you will be charged is for S3 standard IA is 128 KB. And what I mean by this is, so even if you download an object of, let's say, 6 KB, but you will be charged as if you downloaded an object of 128 KB. So you'll be paying extra for that 122 KB is what it simply means. So whatever data you retrieve, it would be based on chunks of 128 KB. So whatever data you retrieve divided by 128 KB, it would be those many chunks. Okay. So you are charged for 128 KB for S3 standard and one zone IA, but the minimum capacity storage per object for S3 Glacier and Deep Archive is 40 KB. Minimum storage duration charge. So here you will have to store that logs for a minimum duration. And let me explain this in a deeper. So let's say you store any file in S3 intelligent tiering for one day and then you delete it. But the minimum duration that you would be charged for is for 30 days. So that's the minimum that Amazon would charge you for. Whether you store it for one day or for 30 days, you will be charged for that KB of byte for 30 days. So That's a minimum storage duration charge, which is 30 days for intelligent tiering for one zone IA and for standard IA as well. But it's 90 days for S3 Glacier and 90 days for S3 Glacier Deep Archive. Sorry, 180 days for Glacier Deep Archive. That means if you store any file into Glacier Deep Archive for 20 days, but you will be charged for, and then delete it, but you will be charged for 90 days. And the same is 180 days for Glacier Deep Archive. I hope that point is clear now. Retrieval fee. So for some of the storage tiers, you are charged on retrieval while the data is being retrieved. So on S3 standard and S3 intelligent tiering, you are already paying the standard prices of whatever storage you are using. So you have no retrieval charges. But for standard S3 standard IA, you are charged per GB on whatever the storage classes are after standard IA. So it's per GB for standard IA, one zone IA, S3 Glacier, and S3 Glacier Deep Archive. First byte latency. So this is a latency, you can call it, which when you are accessing the byte. So this is usually milliseconds for S3, you can say all the storage classes, the first four storage classes, because that's where you can access the data directly. But here in the last two, you can see S3 Glacier and Glacier Deep Archive. Since these are archival methods, so of course the latency would not be in milliseconds, it's in minutes to hours. So it's from minutes to hours, few hours in S3 Glacier, and like we understood, 12 hours or might be, there might be a retrieval time of 12 hours or more in case of Deep Archive. So of course it's into hours and not in minutes for Deep Archive. So in milliseconds for first four types, like standard S3 intelligent tiering, standard IA, and one zone IA. Then storage type. So all these are object storage type. There is no disk operating storage type here. So all these are S3 types, and S3 basically is object kind of storage. Then life cycle transitions. So there is a life cycle transition that we will study in detail, which means like if you have some object in S3 standard, and if you are using that frequently, then those you can keep those in S3 standard. But if you think you are not using that frequently, then you can push that or move that object into S3 standard IA. So this is like implementing a lifecycle management, and you can build that lifecycle transitions from any of these 6 categories. So you can move some objects from S3 standard to standard IA and reverse. I mean, you can build at any point. So that is why the lifecycle transitions apply to all these 6 categories. So this was a quick comparison of different S3 storage tiers. I hope this was informative for you. If you have any confusion over the other points, I would suggest you to rewatch this video and all those concepts would be clear. But at the end, if you still have any queries, I would wait to hear from you in the comment section. So please let me know your views and your queries in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next video with some more interesting topics to be discussed. Goodbye.